Grizzly bears are showing up in parts of the prairies they haven't called home in more than a century. There are sightings and signs of dens in southern Alberta that researchers now want to investigate to better understand what is driving the return. As Terry Fikowski reports, more bears in more places is causing conflict with landowners and their livestock.
Clint Marr's family has been ranching cattle outside of Twin Butte for over 80 years. And while sharing the land with wildlife isn't new, the increasing number of grizzly bears is.
Although there was always bears here, there's now quite a few more, and they've now taken up residence.
He's lost cattle worth tens of thousands of dollars to grizzlies. A problem until the last few years was quite rare.
We've had bears come right into our corrals and kill calves there.
After a few close calls of his own, he now carries a gun and doesn't let his granddaughter roam the property the way he did growing up.
About every rancher in this area has run into a bear on a fence line fencing or when they're calving.
Researchers with the Carnivores and Communities program are in the early stages of a project looking to connect with landowners or anyone who suspects or has seen a den in southern Alberta. Historically, grizzlies roamed the prairies freely until early settlers pushed the populations out in the early 1900s. They're now predominantly in the mountains or foothills, but have been moving further east with more sightings, encounters, and reports of dens in the grasslands. Data for the region is more than a decade old, but experts say it likely points to a growing number of grizzlies in Alberta.
Over, again, these last couple decades, certainly the population has grown from what it was. And as that happens, bears are moving into new places.
And that's meant more encounters, including an August attack on a man near Cardston. The Ministry of Forestry and Parks introduced a targeted hunt for problem grizzly bears last year, but Todd Lowen says there are no plans to expand it or remove the 2006 ban on hunting.
There's a lot of worry, I think, in a lot of rural Alberta where these where the bears have expanded into where they haven't been traditionally. And so I think we have to keep our eye on that and make sure that Albertans are safe and feel safe.
Marr understands bears belong on the landscape too, but can't ignore ones that become a threat to his family and livelihood.
If you got a bad bear, you've got a bad bear. They need to be dealt with.
Terry Fikowski, CTV News in Twin Butte.
Landowners with a suspected den on or near their property, or anyone who may have come across one in southern Alberta, is encouraged to report it to the Carnivores and Communities program on the Waterton Biosphere website.